We will bring you one big hit right after another. Make sure you work hard, because when you do, good things happen. Gutty is definitely ready for this one. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And talk about a jam-packed show. We got a lot of fun stuff to go tonight.
We have a lot to get through, previewing most of the winter season, as well as getting you caught up to speed on the girls hockey team, already 5 games into their schedule. We start, though, with one last bit of news from the fall schedule. Delilah Smith-Jeanette, her second trip to state tournament in a row. This year, she improved her position to 29th, finished with a 127.65. She's just a junior, so still an opportunity for her to get back there one more time and hopefully make the finals. But a good, strong way for her to close out this season. Girls hockey team started with a flurry, as they always do. They're able to get going a little bit earlier than everybody else. They started against Eden Prairie. It's their first year as the River Cities Blades. Same co-op, just rebranded over the summer. They started with a 3-2 win over Eden Prairie in overtime. And all 3 goals from Sydney Bernovic, the senior, who is on her way to Assumption to play some D1 hockey next year. The road is going to be weird for them. A lot of up and down, a lot of really good teams on their schedule. Maple Grove, a conference, or no longer a conference, but still a section opponent, and always a tough matchup. They lose to the Crimson 3-1 in a game they felt they were right with them. June Semling getting her first of the season. That was the first goal of the game, so they did lead that one early on. Then they took on number 1 Hill Murray. Things did not go their way at all. Bernovic and Caitlin Easton got the goals for the River City Blades, but yeah, this one was not the way they wanted it to go, and apparently much closer than the 9-2 score would make it seem. Well, the Blades finished off their road trip, their early season road trip, with a high note by facing a team much lower in the rankings. The Elk River Elks were 0-2 after getting pummeled by Minnetonka 18-0 in their opener. They had lost to Blaine in overtime. So both teams were looking for a bounce-back game. The Blades took control early, and they barely let the Elks touch the puck. River City's able to keep Elk River bottled up most of the game. Kylie Oswego deep in the corner, plays it to the net. Caitlin Easton able to jump on the rebound. Her shot is off the post, off a defender, and into the net. Not the prettiest, but a solid effort from Easton. Gets the job done and gets them on the board. Blades on the power play. A couple minutes later, make it look easy. Good movement. June Semling, one-timer, started the big night for the junior captain. Elks outshot 20-5 in the first period, but their shots included this golden opportunity for their captain, Jaden Peterson. Able to get on the breakaway, but freshman keeper Elin Bernovic stays with her and shuts her down. River City's another power play, and it pays off again. Semling's shot doesn't make it through. Bowden puts it on net. Semling pokes it home. Another PPG, and the Blades are up 3 after the first. Game was even more lopsided in the second. Caitlin Easton, great pass to spring Sydney Bernovic. With speed around the corner, freezes the keeper, flips the backhand into a wide open net. Another power play, this one a 5-on-3. Another June Semling one-timer right to the twine. First hat trick of the season for Semling. They were all on the power play. Blades had one more, win 6-0.
Well, the Blades, they didn't celebrate that win too long because they were hosting third-ranked Centennial Spring Lake Park on Saturday afternoon. The first of the season at the Crick was an intense and wildly physical contest between 2 heated conference section rivals. Cougars going to jump to a very early lead. Avery Wagner behind the net feeds Elena Gnetz at the top of the crease. 1-0 exactly 1 minute into the contest. Midway through the first, Mia Such with speed down the wing, flips it across to Madeline Walter. She goes top shelf. Centennial SLP up by 2, but the Blades held an edge in shots after the first. Bella Lindquist killing a penalty in the offensive zone. 2 Cougars are there. Puck comes free. There's Tessa Bowden. Her wraparound is stopped, but buries the rebound. First of the year, cuts the lead in half. Blades finished the PK, but Centennial scored seconds after the penalty was over. Melanie Raff again right on the top of the blue paint all alone. They're going to get that one back before the break. Great seam pass for one-timer. June Semling on the doorstep to pop the rebound home. It's a one-game goal again. Now both teams, they had chances in the third. You see coming up, great look for both late in the game, but it rolls off the heel of her stick. They can't jam away, but can't find the equalizer. 3-2 is the final score of a very entertaining hockey game.
Well, it was a weird game.
Yep.
The refs kind of let some stuff go early. That led to some really questionable non-calls. Maybe got out of hand a little bit.
Did.
They missed calls on both sides. The Cougars were called for a 5-minute check from behind that carries with it a 10-minute misconduct. So Gannets missed most of that third period due to that call. It was about the only time they got the whistle out of their pockets, and they couldn't get out of the way. I don't know that I've ever seen a set of referees affect the puck as many times as they did. But, it had the feel of a playoff game.
It did, for sure.
Two teams that could see each other in the playoffs, and the bad blood starting early.
Well, and they see each other in a little over 2 weeks again, so it definitely going to set the tone.
Well, the Blades fans could be in for a wild ride this season because their schedule is a bit of a roller coaster. About half of their games are against ranked opponents. The other half drops off considerably. There will likely be some twists and turns, but they think this group could push the team to new heights.
I look at this team and I think it's got the potential to be the best team we've had. And we've had some good teams, but I like the pieces we have.
The River City squad wasted no time testing themselves, and they like the results so far. Their 3 losses are to the teams ranked 7th, 3rd, and 1st in the state, and they had a good chance to win 2 of those 3.
I think we've been doing pretty good so far. Definitely areas for some improvement, which is normal because we have a very young team. Like lots of new defense. We graduated, I think, like 3 varsity defense last year. So the incoming, but they're doing really good for just like their first varsity games and like first high school games even.
The girls who are filling those holes include an 8th grader and a freshman. The Blades also graduated both of last year's goalies. So the keepers this year are a freshman and a sophomore. So you can understand there's a focus on getting the back end up to speed as soon as possible.
I think we just have a young team, so just like getting those younger players like up to like where we are and like the plays that we run and like how we play.
It's been a bit of a trial by fire. They saw defending state champion Hill Murray on the road in Game 3, and before the season is over, they'll have 10 or more games against ranked teams.
I'm not a guy that's chasing wins. My job is to get these ladies prepared for playoffs, and the only way I know to do that is go play the best we can.
The Blades let the Pioneers get away from them, but they felt it was a closer game than the score would make it seem. And they look at it now as a lesson to help them improve moving forward.
It's honestly like a way to just like help us like 1, learn perseverance, and 2, how to control like our highs and our lows. And I feel like one thing that like will help us with that is honestly just trusting each other and learning from each other.
The ups and downs of any season can be challenging, especially when it's the quality of play on the other side. So the Blades know they need to keep their focus on themselves and keep getting better every time they take the ice.
We just gotta have our minds at the right spot, say no matter who we're playing, we gotta just play our best and just like try our hardest, and no matter what the score is, keep the energy up on the bench and we're giving 100% and never give up no matter what the score is.
In their first season as the River City's Blades, the girls have come out fast. They've shown that even after a drop-off, they'll rise right back up. And there's a sense this could maybe be the start of something very special.
I don't know, this team definitely feels different, feels better. Definitely feel like we have a chance at going to state.
It would be cool.
Well,
we have
boy,
seen
certainly
a
would.
couple of girls programs make it to the big dance, and it was exciting to watch them, hoping that these girls are able to do the same.
They're fun to watch, and that first line is so good. And I would love to see that second line obviously contribute like they did on Saturday. That's going to be important for them.
I think that second line is going to be one of the best second lines you're going to find.
Excellent. Love to see it.
The 3 games that we have seen, they have been the superior of the matchups they have seen typically. So exciting to see what they can do. They host Blaine on Tuesday. They're at Roseville Matamidi on Saturday. Boys hockey team started its season against the Hopkins Royals, and they put up a big number, 6 goals for the SLPCR squad. A hat trick for Jackson Barsness. Armagast, the sophomore, got a couple himself. Adam Kish had a goal and an assist, 2 assists each for Andrew Clark and Boston Green. Assistant coach Scott Billy said, a little sloppier than they were hoping for, but they got the W, and that's the way they were hoping to start.
Yeah, always nice to start that way. Well, starting out with a win is great, but this team will definitely face some greater challenges moving forward. In year 2 of their co-op, they're hoping to build off the foundation they set last season. That squad set the bar pretty high and left some big holes to fill. But this year's crew is excited to have their time to shine.
It's amazing. We played all summer, which is really fun, so now we're back. Team's got a lot of chemistry, I think, so it'll be fun.
This year's team has a little bit of a head start over last season. They're more familiar with each other, but also with their coaches and the style of the game they're trying to play.
And everybody kind of knows what to expect this year in terms of the way we're asking them to play. So if we get buy-in from the group and it's really just going out there and competing and working hard, I think we can have some success.
SLPCR was one of the highest scoring teams in the state last year, but they also gave up more than 4 goals per game. That's something they know they need to improve on this year if they hope to get where they want to be.
Defensively, we need to have better structure and just a better mindset of getting the puck out of our zone quicker and easier than what we've been doing.
A 6-goal outburst in the opener is encouraging, especially when you consider what they've lost offensively. They're without 7 of their top 8 scorers from last year, a group that had over 220 points. Still, the veterans are confident with the group they have.
Maybe not be the deepest team, but we got the right team. We'll come after you and we'll keep coming after you.
The boys know the only way they can be successful is if they do it as a team. They're not going to dazzle opponents with their playmaking. They're going to have to get gritty, get dirty, and get in their faces.
Our big thing now is trying to have an identity, how we want other teams to see us. So we just want to be physical and hard to play against. So I think that's what really makes us stand out, is working hard.
Hockey players from both of these high school programs are used to being overlooked. They see it as a challenge. What they are committed to this year is to make sure they're not being outworked.
It's a fun group to be around. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to most. Is it's a really good group of kids. I think the buy-in's going to be good, and if that's what we have, then I think we're going to have some success.
They've got a couple of games back-to-back at Fogarty after Thanksgiving. They have Century John Marshall coming up from Rochester on Friday, and then the Apple Valley Burnsville team on Saturday. We'll see them the following week in their Coon Rapids Ice Center opener, I believe, against Elk River.
It is against Elk River. Looking forward to that one for sure.
Well, the wrestling team still has a little more than a week before their opener, and these Cardinals are super eager to get the season off the ground. Last year's squad took a significant step forward, but they plan to prove it was just a start. They're on a mission to take this program to the next level, and they're setting their sights on the top teams in the conference and their section.
Like showing everybody, like, hey, we're back. We can compete with you. We can beat you.
The Cardinals have plenty of reason to be optimistic. They're coming off their best season since COVID, and their team continues to grow.
With everybody in our lineup, we have almost 60 wrestlers, which is an outstanding number.
This is a program that struggled to field a full lineup just a couple seasons ago. Now they've got a bumper crop of talent. And it's not just the numbers, it's the quality of athletes they have and their commitment to get stronger and better.
Coon Rapids offers a very popular and good training program in the summer, so we had a bunch of guys getting in there, always being in the room in the summer, spring, whenever they could, so that's for sure good. And then them wrestling in the off season, doing freestyle, Greco, and off season tournaments, that's just nothing but good for your program when you get people out in the summer just doing extra work.
The Cardinals lost some big pieces, literally and figuratively. Most of their upper weights were seniors last year, including state entrant and 4-year heavyweight Hayden Skillings. So there's opportunity up top, and they've got a bunch of guys ready to prove they belong on the roster.
A lot of guys on the team, and they're excited. They're excited to scrap with each other. I know there's quite a few people at those upper weights, 3 or 4 guys at every weight class that really want that varsity spot. So it's going to be really fun to see who's going to work the hardest to keep that varsity spot.
The girls program is also seeing its popularity continue to grow. In year 4, the Cardinals are just a couple spots away from a full lineup. Last year, they competed in their first team dual meet, and they're hoping this year to score their first dual meet win.
It's grown so much since I've been here. When I first started, I think we had 3 or 4 girls, and now we have almost a full team. And it's really exciting to have so many people interested in wrestling because it's helped me so much, and I'm happy to share it with everybody else.
It's been a few years since the Cardinals were considered one of the top contenders in the conference, but they're not concerned about it. In some ways, they're just fine being overlooked.
We might get underestimated a little bit, but that's what we like. We like being the underdogs, and we like going out there and surprising people.
One thing that hasn't changed, the Cardinals compete in one of the toughest sections in the state. If they hope to reach their goals, they'll have to dig deep within themselves.
It's making sure that we stay focused throughout the year. That's the other challenge, that we as a wrestling team have to control what we can control. And that means our attitude, and that means our effort. It means showing up every day ready to work. It means doing the hard things.
That can get harder and harder as you get later in the season. But the Cardinals believe they have the right group in the room and that they can persevere and make a strong push at the end.
But I feel like that's the biggest challenge we have to overcome, and I feel like our team this year is going to do it. I feel like this is a team that we're going to push that pace, and we're going to lead heavy in the later season.
So excited to see the numbers up.
Yes, absolutely.
I couldn't believe, with the program that has been as strong as it has, our entire run here, almost 30 years, to see them struggle coming out of COVID with the numbers that they did. And just a couple years ago, weren't able to field a team. A couple of big tournaments that they only sent a handful of guys to. So a lot of bodies in the room. That's very exciting. The girls, very close to having a full lineup. Excited
That's
to see.
exciting.
Yeah, they've got 5 dual meets on the schedule. So they're hoping, and they believe they've got a couple more girls that are going to come in, and they're going to be able to round it out. They start their season at home against Champlain Park on Friday the 5th. And Howie?
We'll be there!
They are at Armstrong for a quad on Thursday the 11th.
Well, the gymnastics team has a veteran core returning, and they're hoping to build off of the success from last season. The Cardinals don't open their schedule until December 12th, but then they'll have tri-meets on back-to-back nights, so they've got to have their skills down right away. Fortunately, they have the benefit of having experience in their lineup.
Now, with all of these returning members, they know where their skill level is at. So I think we'll be a little bit more consistent with our routines. So I think our scores will be a little bit better this year.
The Cardinals are way ahead of where they've been at this point the past few seasons. The program continues to recover from lagging numbers, and this is the biggest, most skilled group they've had in a while.
Yeah, we have some talented younger kids, and our upperclassmen, our captains are really leading by example. So hopefully, our goal is to really hit that 120 marker.
They came within 5/100th of a point of that mark last season. With the group they returned, there's a possibility they blow past that number this time around.
Yeah, I think this year we're a lot stronger than we were last year. We had some of our seniors graduate who brought a lot to the team, but we have a lot of leadership and some new girls who have really stepped up, and they're really going to help our team get to what we were last year.
The Cardinals were somewhat plagued by injuries and illnesses last year. The silver lining is that it meant more young girls got the chance to compete at the varsity level, so they have depth they haven't had in years.
I feel like we know our place. We know what we need to do as a team and individually, and just supporting each other definitely helps with that.
The growth of the program has been encouraging the past couple of years, and they aren't even close to being done recruiting. The more girls they get in the gym, the more chances they have to be successful.
I just try and talk about it during school and stuff to try and get freshmen and even 7th and 8th graders to come and join, because it is fun. I started my 7th grade year too.
They're hopeful the program will continue to grow, but their focus is now on being the best they can be this season. They have a lot of girls who have skill and experience, but they need to make sure they're all getting out of their own heads and not becoming their own worst enemies.
Overcoming fears, we're struggling with mental blocks right now, so kind of just getting over the mental blocks and working through those.
The Cardinals all talked about the team being like a family, and it's that camaraderie they'll lean on to get them through the tough times this season. If they continue to support and push each other, they could soar past their goals and put up scores they haven't even considered.
we have a great senior class of girls, so that I hope we can get there this year. I really want that for our senior kids who have been with our program since they were in the 6th grade. 2, 3, we are CR! Good job, guys.
There you go. And yeah, it's always nice. A couple of programs that we talk about tonight that bring back almost their entire lineup from the year before. They're another program that really struggled with numbers and have seen a resurgence. They want to see that continue to grow. But their 2 senior captains in Barker and Marshall they were 1-2 for the team in just about every event last year. So nice to have those leaders back. They're at St. Anthony Spring Lake Park along with Rogers on Friday the 12th. Then on Saturday, they have a tri-meet with Blaine and Centennial. Swimming and diving team starts its season at Spring Lake Park on Thursday the 4th. They are at Centennial on the 11th. We're going to catch up with them next week. Nordic ski team was supposed to start actually on Tuesday the 25th. That's not happening. Their next schedule is Thursday the 4th at Elm Creek. Possibility we do have some colder weather coming in. We'll see. Alpine, I don't know what the ski conditions are over at Trollhagen. Their first race is scheduled for the 16th of December. I'm certain it's going to get a bit colder, and obviously they make their snow anyway, but it's still got to be at a certain temperature to keep it from evaporating and disappearing as quickly as you put it down. Their second race isn't until the 8th of January, which also just so happens to be Elvis's birthday. The boys basketball team opens its schedule hosting St. Cloud Apollo on Wednesday the 5th, and it'll be, Howie, right here on CTN.
That's phenomenal.
Cardinals are coming into the season with a bit of a chip on their shoulders. They are ranked dead last in 4A to start the season, and that's got them fired up to prove the critics wrong.
That's a big locker room fuel for us right now, just kind of beating the expectations. Nobody thinks anything of us right now.
Early on, these Cardinals are exceeding even their own expectations. After losing a couple of record-setting scores, you'd expect their offense to suffer, but early indications are exactly the opposite.
Scoring. I didn't expect us, obviously Jackson's gone, Jagan's gone. I didn't expect us to score that much, but in fall ball, we were scoring with the best teams that we played, so I really didn't expect that.
The intensity will certainly be higher when the varsity season begins, but it's huge for them to have that confidence building. They have a lot of question marks to start the year, and they're going to need each other more than ever to get through this season.
And we got a lot of mystery as to like who's going to fill roles. We know that we're not going to have like necessarily an alpha scorer. We know we're going to have to work collectively together.
The team's makeup will likely mean they play a little differently than they have in years past. They have a fair amount of skill, and they have a ton of heart. They're going to need every ounce of effort they can muster because they're going to be one of the smallest teams in the state.
I mean, we have four guys in the starting lineup potentially that are below 6 feet tall. So we're going to have to be really scrappy this year, get up on defense, rebound really well, and play really fast.
That's not to say they don't have any size. They just don't have a ton of big bodies. Fortunately, one of their captains is a veteran presence in the middle, and he's well aware of what his role has to be and how crucial it is to the team's success.
My goal this year is to be a defensive menace, so I'm going to use my length to alter and block shots. I'm going to be able to stop people from getting in. That's what I'm really working for this year. I'm trying to play good defense.
Some programs would see their size as a drawback, but the Cardinals are seeing the positives of having heart over height. They may not be long, but they're fast. They plan to exploit their advantage to hopefully take other teams out of their comfort zones.
We move the ball. I love the way we're moving the ball. We got to make the opportunities that are there. So I think for us, consistently hitting the open shots is going to be something that I want to see us improve.
Very excited,
Yes.
and the way their schedule is set up, it looks like they've got a couple of games early on that could help be confidence boosters before they get into the meat and potatoes of their Northwest Suburban Conference schedule. They start with St. Cloud Apollo on Wednesday. Howie.
We'll be there.
That's Wednesday the 3rd. Then at Cambridge Isani, a section rival on Friday the 5th. So get a good taste against not only themselves right away, but who they have to compete with
Well,
in the section.
It'll be interesting with lack of size, and I think, team emphasis will be obviously offensively. They got to hit their shots from the perimeter, and I think defensively they're going to have to play really strong and really press, because with lack of size, they're going to have to make up for it in other areas.
Speed
always
is the
kills.
key.
Well, the girls team also starts its season on CTN. They host the Millers from Minneapolis-Washburn on Tuesday night.
This Tuesday.
This Tuesday, yes. The Cardinals are really excited to see what they can do this season. They return a ton of experience from last year's squad, and they bring in some young players that are poised to take this team to the next level.
We're returning a lot of experienced players, and people are going to be surprised. Our younger players are coming in and challenging for positions.
The Cardinals are convinced their mix of experience and youthful exuberance is a perfect recipe to take the program to the next level. And the veterans are working overtime to get the youngsters up to speed quickly.
We all trying to get on the same page. We got many young players, so it's like trying to get everybody on the same page so the seniors can fulfill their dreams.
The Cardinals had a respectable record last year, but it was always seen as a rebuilding season. Now, they're eager to show everyone how far they've come, and that they're far from satisfied.
I just feel like it's a better team than last year. I feel like we're all connected more than last year, and I just see us as a team going places farther than we ever did last year.
The Cardinals battled through some illnesses and injuries last season, which gave a lot of younger players an unexpected opportunity. Now they've had a taste, they all want more. Coach Bierman says he has players all the way down to middle school who will be competing for varsity minutes this year.
I'm so excited this year to talk about our depth. I think it'll be regular to see 10, 11, 12 players in a game.
The Cardinals will need that depth as they battle through an always tough Northwest Suburban Conference schedule. Early on, they say they like their scoring and they need to work on their defense, but they've got other areas that will carry them through.
Our communication is getting better every day. Our passion, our hustle, we need to be more consistent, but all that is getting done in practice, and y'all see soon.
There are quite a few seniors on this year's roster, and they'll be driven to finish strong. But there's also all that youth, which means lessons learned this season will help move the program forward for the next couple of years.
Coming to practice every day, the energy in the gym is so exciting. I think that by the end of the season, teams are going to be very terrified of us.
Certainly hope so.
Love to see that.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun to watch last year. They were young, they were scrappy, and they bring back just about everybody. Possibly having some familiar names returning partway through the season. But at least to start, they're very excited with what they have. And Coach Bierman was saying he's got a 7th grader that he thinks would push for playing time on just about any varsity roster. So he's pretty excited to see how that piece can help make his team better and help bring them forward for the next several years.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him today. He's pretty excited about the start to the season against your hated Washburn Miller squad.
That's right. Got to win.
And yeah,
I talked to the girls. We're all on the same page. They're just going to win.
Excellent. They're just going to win. I'm excited to see what the start they get to the season, because they do have an opportunity. A lot of depth, a lot of young players on this team.
The 7th grader I mentioned, there are other middle schoolers who could factor in and see minutes and a lot of different pieces. He said, like he said in the piece, 10, 11, even 12 girls could be on the floor for the team in any given night. Their next game will be at Minneapolis-Camden on Wednesday the 3rd. They too have a schedule that's going to allow them a couple opportunities early on to have some success, hopefully. And we will be here, win, lose, or draw the rest of the way.
You bet.
We've got more than just girls hockey on the radar ahead of us. We've got girls basketball against the Washburn Millers. Go Cardinals. Boys basketball against St. Cloud Apollo. Go Cardinals. Boys hockey, SLP Coon Rapids versus Elk River. And we're going to go 3rd, 4th, 5th, because on the 5th we have the wrestling team opening its season against Champlain Park. So we're getting the winter season going in a hurry. We will not have a show on Monday the 1st. We'll be back regular broadcasting for the winter season starting on Monday the 8th. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.